It would be about 3 spins, or roughly a day and a half in your world, before we would reach the first disturbance site that had been discovered in the Crystal Plains. Site Zero, as we called it. A direct trip would be about half as long, but I had arranged for us to make 3 stops to refresh supplies and rotate crew as we worked our way north. Endeavour has assigned leaders who stay with the ship for extended tours. 3 of us actually live on Endeavour full-time. Our subordinates rotate out, whether as scheduled or as needs arise. Most of the leaders on Endeavour hold on to their number 2s pretty closely, as you like to know things are being handled the way you want when you're not on duty in the department you are accountable for. That's why most of us are waking workers, and don't choose to recreate while off duty, unless we are set down. About the only leader we have on the Endeavour who doesn't have a consistent rotation of familiar faces is Charlie, our operations officer. Operations is a position that you will only find on transport cruisers or the larger ships in the Rover class. They oversee the maintenance of the crew living quarters and all of the ship's necessary supplies, including stocking and preparing food in the galley. Charlie is, perhaps, one of the moodiest people I have ever known. It never fails that he will choose a time that we are overposted on a task or all eyes on something, when Charlie will decide to break out the special ingredients and prepare a treat, then give us a semi-part by semi-part update on how our generously prepared meal is slowly dying while we remain both on task and increasingly hungry. Needless to say, there have been some crew members in the past who have made it clear that they would like to feed Charlie the entire ship, all at once. He is not an easy man to work with. There is no argument for that. But if anybody on this moon loves the Endeavour more than me, it would be Charlie. And, like me, he lives on the ship permanently, and I simply can't ignore that kind of dedication to something that I, too, believe in, so I just look at him as a perpetual opportunity to work on my interpersonal communication skills. Dana, the communications leader, is the other Endeavour resident. My relationship with her is a bit complicated, an odd mix of co-worker and sibling, with just an occasional sexual tension thrown in. She is just as much of a challenge as Charlie, but in very different ways. But, like Charlie, she is devoted to the idea of what we are trying to accomplish up here. And she is damned good at her job as well. I have never seen better management of people by any leader in any department, regardless of the function or facility. Padding the communications crew to soak up some of the additional monitoring required by the various investigations was one of the goals during our 3 stops. Resupply and rotating our fresh operators was the other order of business, as we were likely going to be out for several D-spins before having to pull back to the south to replenish. The northernmost part of the Crystal Plains skirts the border of the overlands, as well as the entire colony. We call this the top line, and had, up until now, just set up 6 data towers with light emergency provisions. The only manned stations lay between the 1st and 2nd tower in the line, and the 5th and 6th tower. These only serve as rudimentary shelters for guardians in between patrol shifts on extended tours. Site Zero was in the Crystal Plains, south of the line between the 4th and 5th tower. The second disturbance site that we had accidentally discovered while initially headed for Site Zero a while back, was in line with the eastern station, but much further south, well beyond any chance of seeing the flashes of a static cutter from there. When we get up there, we will begin at Site Zero, to resupply the Guardians and transport we are staging the investigation from. Then, it is my intention to run the line and begin making notes on what we need to reinforce this vast, vulnerable stretch as quickly as possible.